Hello, everybody. Welcome to Use This Room. I hope that you're all doing well. Today, I really want to talk about the dangers of familiarity. I'm sure that you've all heard the saying, familiarity breeds contempt. That's because it does. And unfortunately, it's human nature. The more we become familiar with something or someone, we start to feel contempt. You might ask, what is contempt? The dictionary defines contempt as the feeling with which a person regards anything considered mean, vile, or worthless with disdain or scorn, or an act of showing disrespect, being despised, disgraced, or dishonored. So you mean to tell me that the more familiar we become, the less respect or adulation we ascribe to a person or a process? Yes, but why? Humans are conditioned to admire novelty. We put people on pedestals when we are less familiar with their stories, their eccentricities, their innuendos, right? I am not a neuroscientist, but I've come to understand that we get dopamine hits, like endorphin rushes, when we learn about new processes or meet someone we admire, and keyword, admire for the first time, because we can develop contempt for ideologies that we do not believe in or subscribe to, or maybe individuals that may not share the same values that we do, like politicians, right? Now think about the first time your crush walked into a room, the first time they held your hand and your heart nearly sunk in excitement. What's changed? When we meet people for the first time, we put on our best behavior. We carry out our best efforts because we value them. But along the line, we stop caring so much. I firmly believe that the people who are likely to subscribe to what I have to say are not necessarily going to be people in my circle, but strangers who may not be familiar with me, with my stories, with my struggles. And the reason is because the people in your circle are just familiar with you. They've heard your voice a billion times. They know who you are. And as a result of that, they're less likely to subscribe sometimes to what you have to say. Like, who is she? What does she have to say, right? There are ways in which overfamiliarity shows up. Number one, working out why single because you're trying to get a new girl or guy or whatever, and then letting ourselves go once we settle into a relationship. It could also be treating strangers better than we treat our family members and close friends, or supporting some unknown cause while neglecting our friends' small business ventures, right? Some of us are guilty of that. Or treating our friends with disrespect because they just won't mind, would they? Being punctual in the initial stages of anything, like your job, and then later showing up whenever we feel like it, or not showing up at all. After all, it's all right, they'll understand. And so on and so forth. So I want you to leave a comment below on ways that you have experienced, contempt or over familiarity being shown in your life, or ways that you might have treated other people because you became too familiar with them. We are all guilty. It's human conditioning, but we can do better. Okay? The dangers of familiarity is that the contempt will eventually run its course. The spouse who has endured abuse for so long will one day pack up and leave. One day your manager calls you to the office and says, "You've been late 10 times this month. You are fired." At the end of the day, when we become too familiar, if we don't act right, like, that's why these videos are so important. Awareness is key. If we do not act right, guess what? We lose. They say true love age like fine wine. I believe that true love will only age like fine wine if we treat each other delicately. Delicately, like when we first met. Now, there are a lot of reasons why the contempt comes into play, resentments, knowing each other's stories, they're just being familiar. But I think that it's mostly because a lot of times the mystery is gone. a lot of times. There's no, because when you're getting to know someone or you start a new job, it's exciting. So what happens after a while? You've heard that story over and over again. Maybe you've told your partner the same story 10 times and they smile every time you say it because you think you're saying it for the first time, but to them it's like, yeah, I've heard that before. There's nothing like hearing something or experiencing something for the first time, meeting someone for the first time, right? Going out with somebody for the first time, starting a new job. It's exciting, it's challenging, right? I don't necessarily have all the solutions to this because this is just part of who we are as humans. But I think that it is essential for us to have an air of mystery to us. You don't want to be always predictable. And I'm not endorsing or saying that we should become liars because we don't want to be predictable, right? All the time. But there needs to be an air of mystery about us. So, in as much as we can control other people, we can control what we do, how we carry ourselves, and who we are. So, number one, we got to be open minded. Learn new things, travel, read books, meet new people, interact with different kinds of people. Join an organization, join something that you want to learn about. The first time I graduated from college, the first time, I joined a Toastmasters organization. And the reason for that was even though I didn't really have to, I wanted to improve, to enhance, hone, whatever you want to call it, my communication skills, right? And through that organization, I met different kinds of people. And one of my best friends today, I actually met her through that organization, right? So be open minded, learn something new, do something new, go somewhere new, explore so that you can have more stories to share, right? Don't go broke though, but so you can have more stories to share. Number two, don't be secretive, but also don't overshare. I think it's hard with us. It's really difficult with our social media age because nobody wants to be left out. We all want to show that we have stuff going on. I like to post food, travels, whatnot, different things, because I genuinely am excited, right? And I know people are excited and they want to share, but just because somebody's in posting doesn't mean they don't have anything going on. Don't feel pressured to share. Don't feel pressured to post. You don't have to overshare everything, especially at work. You do not have to overshare. You don't have to share what you don't want to share, especially at work. Like people say, oh, we care. We're family here. But a lot of times, what I've seen, and even in my personal experience, okay, is that they end up using it against you. Or they just want to know more about you so they can have more information at their fingertips. Share only what you're comfortable sharing. Okay, even with friends, like take time to vet your friends too. You don't have to share everything with everybody at once. You can take time, get to know people, and then take time to vet them before you share everything or share whatever. Don't start where you cannot finish. Be consistent. Guys, if you're gonna open the door for her during the first few dates, make sure that you continue to open the door after she's accepted to be your girlfriend. Okay? Like same thing with girls. Don't start something you're not gonna finish because you want to look the part. If you're gonna do it and you're gonna condition me to want it, to want that, then make sure it's something that you're willing to continue to do. Okay? um if somebody starts to disrespect you and you sense that it's maybe because they're becoming more familiar with you, the respect is not just there that much anymore, you can have a conversation with the person. But if this is something that goes on again and again and again, then you got to pull back. You got to respect yourself. You cannot force people to respect you. You cannot control people. You got to respect you. If I sense that somebody is becoming too familiar with me and they start to treat me in a way that I don't like, well, it's time to pull back. It's time to pull back. The more we learn about people, we learn that they are just like us. So therefore, if we think that we are ordinary, they must be ordinary too. But the thing is, you're not ordinary. You are extraordinary. You are unique. You're a unique individual, right? The caveat is that the ability to become familiar with someone truly is a blessing. For somebody else to open their world to you and welcome you into their space, their life, is truly a blessing. It means that the relationship has grown deeper to where you know more of their stories and who they are. We all want that. We all need that. I hear people saying all the time, so my best friend, so my best friend. I'm like, people love this best friend stuff because deep down, somebody wants, you want to matter to someone, right? We all want to matter to someone. And the thing about friendships, especially, is that it's not as transactional as romantic relationships. People like you because they like you, right? So the thing is, the first thing is we want to know our family better. We want to know our friends better. And the first steps to solving any problem is being aware that there is one, right? We all want to do better. I want to do better. I want to be better, right? I'm a work in progress. That's why I'm putting these videos out for you guys as well. So the homework I want to give you is that I want you to think about the people that you love in your life. How can you show up differently? How can we stop taking ourselves for granted? And how can we stop taking them for granted? Okay? Familiarity does breed contempt, but it doesn't have to. That's the point of this video. The more I become familiar with you, it's I'm guilty of it. We're humans. You know, we're humans. I was having a conversation with a friend, and that was what inspired me to actually talk about this. I've been wanting to talk about it for a while, but we're talking, and I was having a friend that I love so much. And I was just thinking about how richly blessed I am to know her and to have been welcomed into her world and for her to know me and my struggles and my stories and friends that even maybe didn't know me enough before, but they know me even deeper and better now. It is a blessing, you guys. Familiarity doesn't always have to become contempt. We don't always have to take people for granted or to disrespect them because now we know them. Oh, I know you. So let's do better. We can be better. And I'm speaking for myself as well. I can be better. Okay. If you were blessed by this video, I want you to like, share this, and subscribe. Subscribe. Okay, subscribe, share it with a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend, share with your family members to get more videos from me. But until next time, know that I see you, I love you, and you are beautiful just the way that you are. I hope that now that you know that you do better and you show up differently. Have a wonderful day.